y'all. You found yourself today with Miss Katie at Heritage Cooking School. And today I've got something hot and heavy to share with you. Jalapeno poppers. Have you ever had them before? You know, I'll tell you about the first time we had them as I talk along. But I was thinking about this recipe. It's more of a method than a recipe. And it is so simple that it's basically, this video is really going to just be more of giving you tips than how to. Ooh, I smell that heat. Is that possible? Because I do. As soon as I cut into it. I know that there are a lot of different ways to make jalapeno poppers. Different people do it different ways. You see that I'm cutting the top off. It would be really nice. I have a friend of mine who just slices it with the top on, and it makes a pretty presentation, but we're all about just getting it consumed. If I wanted to make a nice presentation, I probably would leave the cap on, but I'm cutting it off, and I'll be seeding, or is it de-seeding? Seeding the poppers, the jalapenos. Now you see I've got red and I've got green. I've got, these are fairly large. It's going to be kind of tedious. Let's see, I've got some, so look at these. Aren't these beautiful? These came from a mixture of our garden and farmer's market. I've got these, that's a good size, but this is going to be awful big. But anyway, and you know, you never know about the heat until you bite into it. You might get a popper that is really hot when you bite into it, and then some are just as mild as a green bell pepper, so it depends on your jalapeno. Okay, so I've got these all sliced. I use real cream cheese for this. I don't use light or anything. What I'm using today is this Smithfield all natural, and I'm not concerned with sharing the brand right now as much as I am the all natural. It's nothing artificial. It says made with sea salt, minimally processed, uncured bacon. So I try to get this if I can, especially since we were probably going to consume a lot of bacon with these because we eat several of the poppers at a time. And so I got the uncured bacon. It is no nitrate or nitrite added. So I do try to look for that if I can. Another tip is these gloves. Now you've seen me use these in the video about flouring and greasing a pan when you're baking, and it is optional there, and I know a lot of people don't use plastic, and I'm good with that. That's a great thing, but I'm not at that point in my life right now. I would not want to make these poppers without these gloves, because I'm going to be taking these by my hand, kind of fingernails, kind of sort of, and taking the seeds out. And so I would not want to do this without the gloves because of the burning. You just trust me. You don't want to find out what happens if you do this without gloves and then forget later on tonight and rub your eyes because your eyes itching or what have you. So gloves are great for this. Another tip I want to show you is that you can cut this bacon in the package. I'm pieces of thirds, and so you could do halves, but you'll get more for your money if you'll do thirds, and it works just fine. So I'm just going to cut it in the package instead of getting all greasy peasy. It might not be perfect, and this method might not be great for you, but works for me. There you have your pieces all ready to go. So you've got your thirds, and I didn't have to get anything greasy or make a mess. And then another tip is parchment paper. Do y'all use parchment paper in your baking and cooking? It is better than foil. Foil can still, your items can still stick on foil. Parchment paper makes perfect cookies, you know, no sticking. I've had so much success, and I just don't want to run out of parchment paper. So I use it here on my pan. This is a heritage item, by the way. I like my old pans that are inherited from my ancestors. So I'm going to put my parchment paper on here. Now, grease will get up under there because this is a greasy item. Grease will get up under there, but it's still an easier cleanup, and you don't have sticking. That's the reason I use this. No sticking in that. All right, so right now I'm just going to hang out, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to seed, de-seed. We need to establish what the proper word is, don't we? And I'm going to put my pan right here. You can't see it, but I'm just throwing these jalapenos. Actually, literally, I'm just going to throw them on here on my pan. Now, I do want to say, while I'm seeding these, let me tell you that first time I had these was my friend, our friends the Crumps, and you'll see them on Instagram if you're on Instagram. I think her name is Crumps Homestead Happenings, and she brought them to church for us to taste, and I had never had them, and I know it's a thing, you know, it's a thing at restaurants, but no, at restaurants they're all breaded and stuff like that. I don't go for that. They had grilled these, and they were absolutely delicious. And she had brought it. They were cold. They weren't even hot, and they were the best things I had had. Oh my word! She's done a lot for me in my life, but that is one of the biggies that sweet girl has done for me. I appreciate that family so much. But they introduced us to these, and so we ate them and learned how to make them. And I bake them. I don't grill them. I mean, you can, but you know, we just bake them. And they are, if you're into low carb, they are considered a low carb item. And if you do Trim Healthy Mama, if you're familiar with that eating lifestyle, Trim Healthy Man, what have you, it's an S on the Trim Healthy Mama lifestyle. So that's just some background on these for us. And you know what? This is going to be a heritage item. This is something I'll put in my cookbook I'm writing. This is something I'll pass down to my children, especially our oldest son, who is married. He loves these things. And so when my husband wants to aggravate him, he'll send him a picture of a big pan of them. I don't want to aggravate him in that way, but I see a sneaker. Is there somebody sneaking into my kitchen? What are you doing, little sneaker? What are you doing? Hey, you know what? I'm making jalapeno poppers. Do you like these?
Yes, I do.
You do? All right, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, if you eat them or not. All right, guys, well, I'm going to just keep doing this, and I'll come back to you in a minute when they're all done. Okay, so I've explained about cutting the bacon in thirds, and I just do that to save money, and it's preferable to cut your bacon in half, and you'll have more that way around each piece, but we just try to be conservative about it. Another thing is you could divide your bacon like this if you had it in halves and wrap like that, and that's pretty too. Let's see, it also depends on the size of your peppers, how big your bacon pieces are going to be. And I did add some stems on there for you. I kept some stems on some of them. I mentioned that I don't usually. But you just kind of stretch it, wrap it around, maybe touch the bacon to each other like that. And that's all there is to that. Here he comes. Hey! Welcome home. How are you? You know
better now.
Do you know what I'm doing?
Yeah. Why do you think I'm smiling?
Give me a kiss. Welcome home to Poppers.
I can't wait to eat them.
I know. Well, so I'm just telling my friends. So it will take, I got to bake them. You can't eat them raw.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's
And another thing, I was telling a while ago that you were not here conveniently to help me make them. You are at this thing called work. You have these excuses, don't you?
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
I don't know why you think you've got to go to work. I guess to buy cream cheese and bacon.
That
Somebody's
works for
got to
me.
buy the bacon and what's the saying? I bring home the bacon and you bring home the bacon. I fry it up in the pan.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Ooh, we'll get it eventually.
Show our age.
That's right. That's right. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna bake these up, and I'm gonna show you what they look like when we're done. I've got the oven on 400. You can do it anywhere from, I don't know. I've done it at 350, but it takes forever at 350, I think. And so I'm gonna try it on 400. And hey, get your lunchbox out of my frame. It's ugly.
For how long? Because I'm ready to eat some.
For how long am I gonna bake them?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bake them. It takes a while because I'm gonna say 25 minutes. So we're gonna put it on 400 for 25 minutes, and I'll let you know how that worked out. Okay? They're all ready for the oven. Looking good. Hey, out of the oven. We ended up 400 at 27 minutes is what we ended up. So you could adjust that. So if you could see here, this one looks so good. Look at that. I'm gonna arrange these on the platter that my husband brought me from one of his trips to Mexico. He's gone there on several mission trips. Now I wanna point out a couple of things on here. These that have the bacon wrapped around, I put it on differently than these. I came up from the bottom on this. So you see that's kind of a fail, but not really because we're gonna eat it anyway. You won't have that problem if you half your bacon instead of thirding it, because you'll have more bacon to work with. So this is it. These are jalapeno poppers on my tray from Mexico. And remember, you can drink it with a glass of milk, eat it with a glass of milk, and it'll cut the heat. Did you know the milk will cut the heat of hot, spicy foods. So here we go. Jalapeno poppers. Really easy, and I hope you try them out. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos.
This is good. And they're hot.
I'll do what Anna does and fix my hair in the not over my face.
Alright, I'm gonna go out and wait a second, okay?
Okay. Woo, these things are good. We are crazy, but that's all right. We have to be crazy to live around here. That's a good size, but this is going to be awful big. Well,